and welcome back to LifeSpring Counseling Services' second Meet Your Match interview. So at LifeSpring, a lot of our therapists and other people on our team love reality TV shows like Love is Blind, where you're getting to see speed dating. And so we thought, wouldn't it be so cool if we could bring this speed dating concept to meeting a therapist, right? So we know in the counseling field that one of the most important elements is the relationship that you have with your therapist. So finding a therapist who's a good fit for you is actually really, really important. It's more important than your therapist's treatment approach or treatment modality. And so when you are looking for therapy, you want to make sure that you feel like you have a good connection with your therapist. So today, I'm going to be introducing you to 4 of the therapists here at LifeSpring. We have Chelsea, Michaela, Sophie, and Saba. And I have questions that I've prepared in advance for them. They have no idea what I'm going to be asking, so you can imagine that they're really excited about that. And you're going to get a sense of their personalities and who they are, how they show up, what kind of work they do. And if you are the person who's looking for therapy, you'll get a sense for all 4 of them. Or if you know someone who's looking for therapy, you can share this recording and see what they think and see if someone on our team might be a good fit. So welcome, Chelsea, Michaela, Sophie, and Sava. We are going to get started. I have 9 questions for you, and we're going to get started. So, Sophie, I actually lost my order. I told them in advance which order we're going to go in, and I think we said Sophie, Michaela, and then Chelsea and Saba. Because I lost my little paper on the floor already. So here we go. Sophie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, the first question is, what is one question you would encourage people to ask when they're looking for a new therapist?
Ooh. I would say, one, I would want to know why a therapist wanted to be a therapist, because, I want to know if they're coming to get to know me, if they're coming to look at me as, just like a service, or are we looking for, I don't know, whatever you're looking for. I'd want someone to know that I'm looking to be here for you. I'm excited to see you each time. I'm excited to get to know you, and it's actually a real privilege. So I think that's what I would want to know most.
Okay, so you'd want to know, or you'd encourage people to ask, what made you decide to become a therapist?
Exactly, yeah.
Awesome. All right, Michaela, what's the question you would encourage people to ask when they're looking for a therapist?
Yeah, I think I would encourage people to ask their therapist or potential therapist what their approach is or their style to therapy, because I think there's such a unique difference between every therapist and how they approach therapy and how they approach their clients, and that works really well with some people and maybe not the best with other people. So I think it would be really important to ask your therapist, how they approach therapy, what their style looks like in session, things like that.
Okay. How about you, Chelsea?
Yeah, very similar to Michaela. That would be my top question as well. Like what kind of modalities, what kind of techniques are they using, and then seeing if it's the right fit for you. Like asking more in-depth questions. Okay, do you focus more on the present? Do you focus more about childhood trauma and attachments? Like where do they like to be centered?
Okay, great questions with time orientation.
I would want my clients to ask me what made me become a therapist. So, and what goals I have as becoming a therapist. So that would make them get a feel of how I will, do therapy on them, I guess.
All right. So you have some new questions to ask if you are in the process of speaking with different therapists. My next question is, how can someone tell if a therapist is a good fit for them? Like, what should someone be looking for? Sophie.
I would say it's that sitting down feeling and that getting up to go home feeling, right? Like if you're sitting down in a session and you're feeling like I'm safe here. I know my therapist is going to get me. Even if I know what I'm feeling and I don't quite know how to verbalize it, I know that by the end, they're going to understand me somehow. And I'm going to feel understood, because even if we have different backgrounds or experiences, feeling as if, there's still a connection where we can relate on some level, and, even a little bit of humor. If you're feeling like you can connect, you can enjoy the person's presence, you feel like you can be your authentic self, and you can get up leaving knowing that you got what you wanted from session, I would say it's successful.
Okay. How about you, Michaela? How can someone tell if a therapist is a good fit for them?
I think that way that you feel when you're leaving your sessions, especially paying attention to how you're feeling even when you leave your first session, I think it's really important for clients to feel like at least some small spark of hope when they leave their first session. So really sitting with and paying attention to how you're feeling when you're leaving the office or when you're leaving your session.
Yes, and for anyone who's watching, one of the things that we regularly talk about with our team is checking in at the end of each session. How was that session for you today? And making sure that we are checking in, because we want to know how it's going. And we want you to be able to tell us the honest truth, and not feel like you have to people please or just say whatever you think we want to hear. All right, Chelsea, how can someone tell if a therapist is a good fit for them? What should they be looking for?
Yeah, so if they're in therapy and they feel comfortable and they feel that they're able to openly and honestly talk with their therapist, and with how the therapist makes them feel and maybe what kind of questions they ask, how they lead them could be really important. And again, what they said as well is how you feel after the session. Did you feel like, oh my gosh, that was great, I can't wait to, get started, or that didn't really feel quite right, I might keep looking.
Okay. How about you, Saba?
I think having a strong connection with your therapist is also important. Just feeling like it's you left with a great session. I would definitely want to come back. Just having that strong connection with your therapist. Important.
Okay. And you're making me think of another question I want to ask. Okay. So, I want to know, what is one of your top coping strategies that you introduce in your sessions? Sophie.
So my favorite is what I would say ACE. It's, awareness of the emotion, connection to your body, and engagement with the world. And that's a big technique through acceptance and commitment therapy. But people think mindfulness and you think meditation, and it doesn't have to always be that, because I know I can't always sit and meditate. So if you can, that's great, but we don't expect you to. So if you can do any of those three things, being aware of what you're feeling, how is it feeling in my body, is my body feeling in my environment, and then also what's around me, what can I see, taste, smell, hear, maybe even the absence of any of those sensations. It really brings you in the moment, and it's also more of you can bring creativity to it. There's all different types of techniques, and you can see that I love talking about it, so I can show you all different types of ways, and more.
Love that. How about you, Michaela? What is the one coping strategy you find yourself introducing in many of your sessions?
The one, if I have to pick one that I love doing, so I do a lot of, is progressive muscle relaxation. I love guiding people through progressive muscle relaxation in session and then encouraging them to do it at home too, but definitely guiding it through them the first time. I like starting sessions or sometimes ending sessions that way, depending on how the session went. And I love watching people when we're done with the progressive relaxation and they kind of they open their eyes and they just are able to go, and that always feels good, I think, for them.
Yes, absolutely. Chelsea, how about you?
I always bring up self-care. What are they doing to relax? How do they relax? What makes them feel more comfortable to be able to get rid of some of that stress, whether it's just going for a 10-minute walk, journaling, hanging out with friends, or just watching TV. I think whatever they can use to help relax is one of the best ways to go.
All right. How about you, Saba? What coping strategy do you use a lot in sessions?
I'm going to say self-care and meditation. I feel like those are really, really important. is because you really want to take care of yourself, and really have, after a long day, you want to just, come back from work or just relax for the day and go for run, go to the gym. It's really important.
Okay. Next question. What are the 3 words that you would use to describe what clients can expect when they work with you? Sophie.
I would definitely say, warm. I've heard that in the past, that I want clients to be able to come in, sit down, feel like that. Oh, okay. If it's a busy day, at least I know I have this time for me. I'm safe. I'm good. Sophie's got me. So that's what I mean by warm. And then, some fun. I definitely am going to, say some things that are a little kooky sometimes, and I want you to tell me, Sophie, that was a little kooky, or Sophie, you could be a little bit more kooky. You promised kooky, you're not being kooky enough. So I really like that. And then I want to say informative. I want to be able to give you the information that you need. I don't want to feel like you're sitting down for class. I want you to feel like it's a conversation, you're getting the information, but you can leave and apply it beyond just what we're doing together.
How about you, Michaela? 3 words that describe what clients can expect when they work with you.
Ooh, 3. I think they can expect understanding. It's pretty hard to shock me in session, I think. They can expect humor. I like it when my clients and I can laugh together. And they can expect direct feedback. I am pretty good at giving direct feedback, and I think my clients appreciate that.
Great. How about you, Chelsea?
Yeah, I would say compassion, being there, showing that, hey, we're in this together. Mindfulness. I do love mindfulness exercises and deep breathing and meditative walks. Then also, I think psychoeducation around the what Sophie said, like giving them their information in like a fun way where it doesn't feel like I'm lecturing at them.
All right, Saba, 3 words to describe what clients can expect when they work with you in particular.
Feel welcomed, communication, and then I want to say understanding.
All right. So, the next thing I want to know is, what is one thing that you love to help clients work on and why? Sophie.
I would definitely say emotional discomfort, right? Like, emotions can be really great. We can feel really high highs, we can feel low lows, we can feel joy, humor, sad, but it's when we are really trying to avoid feeling emotional discomfort. I love breaking that down because you can't avoid it. You can't always control what you're feeling, but you can control the power you give to it. And so that's my whole realm I really love to delve deeper into.
Awesome. How about you, Michaela? What's the one thing you love to help clients work on and why?
One thing I love helping clients work with is when they come in with like a big transition or a big event or a big change that has happened in their life that's creating all of these new emotions and uncomfortable feelings. And I think I like that so much because I like watching the transition for my clients when in the beginning, when they first come in, it's this big, huge like catastrophe or really big emotional thing. And then we're able to sit with it and process through it, and watching how they process through that and come out at the end. It's really enjoyable.
Yeah, and I love that, right? Because I'm hearing the distinction between like, this terrible thing has happened.
Yeah.
That's why I'm coming here, because I'm having a real bad time in life. And you're like, this is great. I love helping people with this, right? So these 2 different perspectives, that while someone can be going through a very hard time, we are actually really enjoying our work.
Yeah,